we're just doing a practice session, afternoon session. Let's do it. Just a couple things here. We need to close up a few trades, including crude oil long and crude oil short. So crude oil short is done here. This only went 1-to-1. 1263 zone number. Let's see here. There it is. And it's also, it needs to note that it was a 15-minute holding split at the same time of that anti-breakout. That's the reason why I took that trade. So that should be marked down here. 15-minute holding split. Okay, so that's marked down as well. This one's done. I'm not sure where crude oil is going to go. We do also have a 240-minute holding split. That is the low of the day. It's gone 3.25 to 1 at this point. We did do really good on that. We only got out at 1.25 to 1, but little did we know that it's gone 3.25 to 1 here and continues to move. It was mainly, I thought it was mainly due, I don't know why I taken that trade. Why did I take that trade again? Was it daily chart? I don't know. I'm not exactly sure, but it was a good trade. That's crude oil, and then we have a 3-minute protecting extreme long. We caught the bottom on NQ this morning. I don't know if it's still the bottom. It looks like it is still the bottom. So we got in here, rallied up to here, and then turned around, retested, and it's still playing around here. So it went 3 to 1. And now it's coming back. Excuse me. Tested this low. Now coming back around. I really was thinking that it was going to blow the top off here and go long, but it turned around substantially. This is a big turnaround here because this was really bullish on the 240-minute bar. This red bar right here was all wick, and it was going green. This was an extremely bullish bar, and the anti-breakout absolutely got swamped. So right when it turned green, that's when the sellers came into play and pushing this red. And then the next bar prints red only. Now it's coming up to touch green. So I don't know. I'm rather, I don't know actually, because it went up, got pushed down. I don't know. I think it's okay to say you don't know. I don't know. I think it's more bearish, but I thought it was going to go up a little bit more after this breakout, but it did not break out. It got pushed. It got rejected. So that's a bearish sign at the same time. So I'm not sure. Really not sure. So let's take a look at... So that's the only two trades that I still have yet to mark down. But that's it. Yeah, that's it. So now we can, our house is clean, so we can take simulated any trade we want. We're doing 8 apples worth of risk, so we're going to do our best to keep it that way. Keep it under 8, and let's just do this trading session as if it's real and live. There is some supply up here I'm looking at. It's just trapped in the middle of range here. You know, not necessarily a good looking. Not necessarily good. And especially this is just the start of range all the way up here. It's truly, this is a protecting extreme zone here. It looks looks like a demand open on the 240-minute chart. Basically would be this entire block of selling. I would probably want to be a little bit more accurate and precise in my trade. So a small zone such as this split, the here, but that's just not okay for me. It needs to be larger and needs to be cleaner. So I'm not going to take that, even though I do think there are orders in here. If I would separate them out and do an intuitive trade, I would just do this entire block region. This is selling in my book. I would take that zone. On the 240-minute chart, it looks like a good spot to be too, right up in there. There's some sellers at least, but it doesn't match up. I can't really take that trade. I cannot take that trade. What I could do, now this is kind of risking it a little bit more. You could take demand open just all the way up to this high. You could take demand open, or you could take anti-breakout. As this thing's going upwards, the target would have to be a 1-to-1 right there, and my stop is right there. Either way you look at it, it's the same trade, right? Either way you look at it. So I'm actually going to do that. Take this demand open for, I don't know, MNQ short. This is not a demand open. This is an anti-breakout, comeback bar prevention, comeback bar, anti-breakout, 46 flat. I'm going to go 25% off on this one. I'm going to go, I think for a 1-to-1, what do you want? 0.5 to 1? I'll do a 0.5 to 1. Single risk. Yep, I'm fine with that. Take a picture. Now I'd get in at 25% off as a coupon, which would be put me at 25% right here, something like that. 43.75, 43.75, 43.75, 43.50. Let's just call it that way. $43 flat. Okay, 43 flat. How many contracts? Two contracts, 43 flat. Come on. There it is. My stop loss has to be at this high. 69.75, 69.75. There it is. Right now we are seeing this come up here. I'm not placing the trade unless the coupon actually hits. That means it actually meets entry here. Not taking it. And right now it doesn't look like it's going to, but we'll see. 0.5 to 1 is all I'm asking for as it's coming down here. Needs to come up a bit more to get me involved. Let's go to gold. So gold has rallied right into a lot of supply. At this point, I'm much more willing to go short on it. Yeah. I'm willing to go short on this thing. If there's anything we can do about it, doesn't seem like there is. This low is the important low on the 30-minute. It might hold for another 10 minutes. It's just really, really going to be slow. It's going to be really, really slow. I'm not fully, like, pumped about that. It's just a really slow market in the afternoon, so I'm not going to do it. Crude oil just... So, it went down, rallied, went down, did not break that low, and went up again. and even more than it did. So that's pretty incredible, in my opinion. That's incredible. Right now, I have no reason to go short on it. No reason. That's bullish. It's really, really bullish. I don't have any reason to go short, really. So I'm just going to let this thing go. It looks like I'm only taking... Ooh, okay, never mind. There's definitely a 1 minute holding level here. I was going to say, like, I'm just going to trade NQ right now. But there is certainly a zone there protecting free space. That's... If it goes up there... If it goes up there, I think I'm going to go short on it. Looks fantastic on the 1 minute. I'm going to have to, man. I'm going to have to go short on that. And I'd go for a 1-to-1 because it's such a end of the day trade. Afternoon session on oil and gold are just not volatile usually. I'd agree. I would go single risk. I'd risk 5 apples on this trade because it's I think it's relatively safe for a 1-to-1. It's not such a micro zone. If it was just this split, that's easily, you know. But it's 13 ticks. It's not horrible. Let's check this out where it is on the daily chart. Yeah, that'd be fine if it goes up there. So right now we're cheering for it to go up without going down here, but either way I'd probably be involved on that trade. So let's place it. One contract at 61. One full contract at 61. One full contract at 61. And then my stop loss would be at 74. It'd be at 75 actually. One more tick than that. 75, there you go. $10 a tick. $10 a tick per one contract, and it is one contract. So 13 ticks, that's about $130. It's about 5 apples. NQ, looks like it's still not done going up. If it wants to go up, I'm gonna be in. I'll be short on it. I'll be short on it because I want to short up here. 33, I'd be in short at 33. Where's my entry? 43 is my entry. More than willing to do that, man. More than willing to. Look at that go down. The 3 minutes showing a holding level creation here. Here's the breakout. Boom. Just broke out. Let's see if the breakout would have worked. It's pushing lower and lower and lower. The breakout's working. Making this high a worthwhile trade. This has a good high. The next supply would be all the way down at this low. That's where the next supply would be. This is where I would plot it out. And look at it go. It might just go supply to demand right now. In that sense, I'd be in long here for sure. Protecting extreme. Love it. Love it. I'd love that. Yeah, absolutely. MNQ long. Protecting extreme zone. This is a 10.25 width. I'd go for just a 1-to-1 here. 1-to-1 is in the middle between supply up here, demand down there. This is the zone-to-zone action that we are seeking. Zone-to-zone, zone-to-zone. That's what I see here. And I would just get out in the middle. A 1-to-1. I'd go single risk on this. I'm feeling good about it. 5 apples risk. That'd be six contracts at 90. 6 contracts at 90. 6 contracts at 90. 90 flat, yeah. My stop loss would be at this low. 79.25. 79.25. Yep. That's it. Wow, look at this thing getting bought up. Hits a distal line and it's like, nope. Hits this local distal line right here, protecting free space. It's an important low. Because if this current bar were to turn green, it's looking like a rally base and then a rally. And then that, in that sense, it would be going up to this supply. That's what I would choose to do. If that's going to happen, we are still taking this 240 minute short on the anti-breakout right up here. In fact, I might cancel that order. I'm just going to cancel it just because I'm going to stick with the lower time frames. Okay. Let's see here. So if it goes all the way down, we're asking to buy this low on that 240 minute bar. That's a little bit sketchy. Look at it turn green. Wow. Wow. That's bullish, man. As bullish as it gets. That's good. Anything we can do it? Nope. I know I'm not going short. That's all I know. Not going short. I do see some supply here. This is what I was eyeballing right at the start of the session. In a perfect world, I'd short right at this box, but there's not. I can't set it up. The distal line is right here. It should supposed to be including this small split here. On the 5 minutes, not even a zone, so not much I can do about it. You can take anti-breakout if you wanted to, but it's already been anti-breakout city, so I'm gonna leave it be and just let it breathe. I'm happy to participate after I see what it kind of wants to do. Gold. Let's see here. Gold's rallied up even more. That is further confirmation that I want to go short on this thing. Is there anything I can do about it? What can I do to short this thing? What can I do? Is there anything I can do to short this thing? Not really. You can take comeback bar here if you wanted to. Short at this high. I'm fine with that. I just don't know if it'll happen or not. It's got 1 minute to do that. It's more likely on the 3 minute bar to be able to do that. Still, a 1-to-1 here is just mega and huge because it's such a narrow zone. Here it goes. Here it goes short. I want to be involved on this. These are ones that can absolutely destroy me though. This is a breakout. Breakouts can really not work sometimes. That's one gold contract short at this low, which is 60.3. This is highly risky. 60.3. It's highly risky because it's such a small zone. It could easily come back up. In that sense, I might hold it for a 2-to-1 here. My high is 61.3 would be my stop loss. Perfect. Here it is. 369258. It's got 5 seconds to print red. If it doesn't, I'm canceling order. Nope, it's not printing red. It's not printing red. Let's see what happens next bar. Let's recalibrate. I'm still wanting to be short on this thing. Yeah, you could. You could short that on the micro. Look at how tiny this zone is. That is not even a question. I can't do that. It's possible as an anti-breakout, but bro, that is just not repeatable. No thank you. Can't do it right now. There's just such a small volatility. It's so narrow. I can't participate in that. So right now NQ protecting extreme is in play, and then this zone is not in play. I'm not going to place that. Wow, it's coming down now? What? It hit the high. It went to the tick on that high, double topping it, coming down now. Oh my gosh. Wow. Right when I said don't short it, it's going down, and that was the perfect time to go short. Wow. At this point, I have no idea. I don't know. I'm just holding trades for one-to-ones, and that's it. I still think that this protecting extreme down here would work, but I don't know. I do not know. Haven't placed a trade yet this session. Let's go to crude oil. Not bad. Crude oil's not quite getting there. We do have our entries there, don't we? Yes, we do. It's just not quite getting up there. I want it to, but it just can't. It's tried once, twice, thrice. You can't do it. It's turning before entry. I'm not excited about that, but I am still holding the order in because this is it's a quality zone. It's clean. It's 3 candles. Drop base drop. It's a holding level. It's protecting free space of 2. Outside regional distal line here. Recency of 3-2. I mean, the only bad thing is probably the arrival. The arrival, I want it to be a little bit more clean to get there, and not like, bubbling its way there. But it's a good zone. It's a good zone, man. That's what I would think. Let's see here. So NQ, it's created quite the double top here. There's a possibility that it can break. That it could break this double top. I have no freaking clue if it will or not, so I'm not gonna take anything here. Oh man. Man, oh man. Man, oh man. Looks like it's coming down here. Here we go. Coming down. Nice. Alright, here it is. So, we're going to be long at this zone underneath it here at 90s. We'll be long. I'd be risking 5 apples. Haven't placed a trade yet this session, so that would be good. Going for a 1-1, that's fine. Crude oil looks to be very, very close to my entry here. Are you sure you still want to take the short? Yeah. Yep, I am. It might not. I don't know. Might not work, but it looks fine with me. Oh my gosh, I don't know if it'll get there. I think it's gotten so close to my entry and it's just getting rejected. It's not gonna happen, man. I'm not gonna get my entry. Yeah, it's doubtful. NQ might. So it's coming down here. The 240 minute looked bearish. It did break the high of the 240 minute. Only to go up again, or sorry, only to go down again. And if it comes all the way down to this low, I don't know. It's interesting. It either wants to continue or go up. Man. It's a bit slow. Yeah, I don't know. Be more bullish on this thing, man. I think this high is gonna break. It's a bit shallow. Oh, the eclipse is right now. Eclipse. Solar eclipse live stream. I don't see it. It's black. It's doubtful that the day gets black, bro. Nah, bro. Sun's right in the sky, man, just like normal. Yeah. Is it daytime there? Why is it dark? It's Texas. It's fucking dark out. This is wild, bro. It's dark out. The moon is blocking the sun. Wow. Bro. Wow. That's crazy. Oh my goodness, bro. What the fuck? Excuse me, but this thing gets down 2 ticks to my entry and turns away without me. I can't take the trade anymore. Not doing that. That's just wild. Anyways. That's crazy. Bro. One more minute of totality left. Wow. We're in 6 contracts. Take a picture. We're in long. 1-1, which is 97.75. 132 bucks. My stop loss 79.25. 90 bucks for 132. 90 bucks for 132. We did take a picture. 90 bucks for 132. 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 .3 apples. Risking 3.6 for 5.3. It's a 25% off coupon. Target hit. 5.3 apples on that one. Good win. That's funny. It's a bit stingy on the zone. It's fine. Okay. We'll see how far that bullish goes. Yeah, I'm still gonna be short on this. Look at the last 3 minutes. Has done nothing in crude oil.
Very awesome stuff. All right, Bob Barnard there with our Fox 5 DC team. Thank you so much for always just joining us. We appreciate it.
Cool. So cool. Alrighty. I'd still be short on oil if it gets up there. Gold. Nah. Could have, but nah. It's too small. I have no idea about NQ. Yeah, no idea. Oh my gosh. Gosh, it's that predictable. It just goes up and down. Is it that predictable? Look at it. Up, down. Up, down. Up, down. Up, down. And now it's going up. It's that predictable. It really is. Really is. I'm convinced. Yep. I need some tea or some shit. again. Don't ever let me say da 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 da. Don't leave me again. Don't leave me again. This is zone number 1265. 1 minute. 3 minutes, nothing. Don't leave me again. Don't leave me again. I'll never let me say. I'll never let me say. Don't leave me again. Don't leave me again. No. 60 minutes should be shown. That's a reason. That's a reason. Yeah, it's dead center into a wick. Selling wick, though. Just dead center. That's fine with me. What would you call this? A holding level. 1 minute holding level. 1265. We entered at 1359. This is a 1 minute holding level, protecting free space of 2 outside local distal line. Recency is 3.2, 3.4. Magnitude is 4.3. X score of, I have no idea. I don't know. I mean, that's 3, 6 would be down here. 7, 8 maybe. X8. Alpha swing is, I don't know. I mean, up? Nope, doesn't matter. Alpha swing, I don't know. The swing itself is up. Recent's up. Okay, cool. Now this is a CL short holding level 0.13. Definitely going single risk. Going for a 1-to-1 on this one. That's risking 5 apples. Let's take actually gander at how much we're honestly risking. This high is 75. All right, 140 I'm risking. 140. 5.6 apples. Risk a reward of what? What's the reward? The reward would be a 1-to-1 at 86.47. 140. 5.6 for 5.6. Isn't that lovely? It's gone 0 at this point. We're just leaving it be. Nothing else we can do about it. Yeah, let's just leave it be. All right. far did it go? 0.25 to 1. And still counting. And Q. See what happened. Oh, would you look at that? It went up, and now it went down again. Are you mocking me? The market says. I said in reply, yes. Sorry about that. I don't want to mock you, bro. You just go up and down. That's all. I just wanted you to do something more cool. That's all. Just something more cool, please. It's heading down. Now the question is if it's gonna head down or up. Looks like it's gonna go down. This has just honestly trapped in this range for quite some time here. I don't know what's gonna happen. All I know is that I have no position on NQ. I only have a short on oil right now. Gotta trust your gut feeling, you know, man. La 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 la. So I guess I'm bullish on this thing. Yeah, break this high. I think so. I don't know, I'd go for a 3 to 1, yeah. 33A3 actually. No, just the 3 to 1, please. Half size, yeah. Only one apple risk. Because I don't know what is going to happen. I suppose I could go single, 2 apples risk. 4 contracts at this high. 4 contracts at 8.25.
Order.
I'm in. Take a picture. Before something happens. I'm in long. Hopefully anti-breakout doesn't hit me, but I think we're alright. Who knows? Low is 3 flat is my stop loss. $48 risk. That's 1.9 apples. My target's a 3 to 1 up here. It's at 28.25. 28.25. 154. 6.2. 1413 entry. 1266 zone number. 1266 zone number. I did take a picture already. Did you mark it? No, I didn't plant it yet. 1266 zone number, 3-minute entry. That was planted. Let's describe the trade. It's a 3-minute 2-bar bubbling. Protecting free space of 1. Alpha swing, I don't know. Swing is down. Recent's up. I don't know. I mean, that's basically it. I don't know if it's in trend or out of trend, so just leaving it there. That's all we know. 0.5 to 1. It's looking like it's turning away from me here, unfortunately. Oh, that's a good sign. We'll see. That does not look like it's gonna work. Well, oil looks alright. I think oil is gonna be fine. If anything, I'd go short more, but nothing we can do about it. We already did the short, and we're already risking 5 apples on that. That's a large position. Right here's a large position. This is only 1/3 of that position. Yeah, it doesn't look like this one's gonna work. Breaks that low, I'm out of here. This does not look like it's gonna work.
Order filled.
Ouch. Hurts. Loss of 2 app. Well, 1.9 apples on that. Not horrible. 1266 is done. That's a 3-minute zone. It's over. Should have thought breakouts wouldn't work, right? It's a range day. It's a range time right now, but it's alright. Alright. I have no idea, my friend. No idea. We're still short crude oil. Still technically long from this protecting extreme. This one went way further than I had thought. Let's see how far it went. Went 1, 2, 3.75. 3.5 rather. 3.5. It's a solid trade. 3.5. Wow. I got out at a 1-to-1 for 5 apples. Probably could have held. Definitely could have held. For 15. Those are the real dubs. Risking 5 for 15. Dude, you're positive 15 apples. That's a big W right there. But a 3-to-1 is hard to hit, you know? It's a little bit harder to manage. 25% win rate. That's just not the best, man. This thing is absolutely range bound. Wow. I don't think it has balls to do anything right now. I'm dying. Bored, I'm dying, bro. Dying. I don't even think it's worth it. I think morning sessions are the move, honestly. I think just morning session. I don't know. I mean, it's worth a chance to just do morning session. Because this is slow. Very slow. But whatever. Alright. NQ looks like it's going to go up on the weekly. The volume today is below average. That makes sense because I'm yawning. Holy crap, this has nothing going on. I don't know. I mean, I don't know. Go long? At some point, a higher low is going to break. I just don't know if they're going to. That's funny. That's just so funny.
subconscious type of stuff, goal setting, etc. The subconscious circle. This is going to be a lot of kind of common sense things. And as always, Laney talks about these topics in a way that's tailored to athletics. So you kind of have to get creative if you're going to start implementing these things in like a daily life or work or whatever it is. So let's just kick things off here.
Wow.
And let me go to that section in the book. So 7 guidelines to building your subconscious skill. Number 1, catch yourself doing something right. So what does Laney mean by this? This means that, well, as you can see by the second bullet point, if all you do is write down your failures and you're studying your failures, you'll only ever get failure. You know, you don't... remember that story that Laney told? I think we talked about it like the first or second episode, about how the Little League coach told him, hey, don't strike out. Well, now all you're thinking about is striking out. Instead, he should have said, hey, just get a hit. Just get a hit. And that way you're actually thinking about the action that you want to happen, right? So catch yourself doing something right. Be your best promoter, right? Toot your own horn a little bit. Don't get cocky or overzealous with it, but you have to, it's all about the self-image. You got to promote yourself. The behaviors that you want, promote those. Look at all the positives, just so you have a greater chance of repeating that same successful attempt at whatever it is you're doing. Number 2, train 4 or 5 days a week. To me, this says everything about consistency in your training regimen. You know, if you're building this subconscious skill, right? So what's the subconscious skill, or your subconscious circle? This is what you're going to tap into come competition day. Because remember, come competition day, when you're performing the actions of running, hitting a golf ball, kicking, catching, passing, etc., you don't want to be consciously thinking about those actions. You want them so hardwired in your brain that it just comes naturally to you. What did Laney say? Champions work hard in competition. Champions work hard in practice. They work easy in competition. It looks, if you ever watch, like I was watching last week, Players Championship on the PGA. These guys, their swing is effortless and the ball goes some odd yards. Well, it should be effortless because they've been practicing for so long, so much in their lifespan, and then in the days, weeks leading up to the competition. So you got to get the consistency. That's only going to come from training 4 or 5 days a week, because now that gives you time. You train any less than that, it's hard to, if you have bad errors, it's hard to correct those, because now you're having to wait longer in between training periods and you're just extending it.
There you go.
Laney says no. Be consistent. Train 4 or 5 days a week.
There you go. Train 4 or 5 days a week. You gotta train. You gotta practice. You gotta trade.
Focus.
This is a training session. What am I doing? All right, trying to trade.
With Cal Newport.
Trying to
This
train.
was like a couple weeks ago, and then I found out Cal Newport has his own podcast, like most people do these days. Cal Newport wrote a book called Deep Work, which I have heard about. I've never read myself, but he kind of talks a little bit about it in his interview with Lex Friedman, about these long spans of where you're kind of hyper-focused on one thing, and you get a lot more done via this technique. And if you, and it doesn't even have to, he says he does like an hour and a half, but but if you're on a roll, keep going. We're going to see that in the next point here. So wherever you are, be all there. If you're on the practice field, be all there. Don't let your conscious mind wander and think about other things. You're there to work. Now, the opposite point of that, when you get off the practice field or off, you're done with the competition, don't bring that home with you. Now you're home. Tend to what's at home. Family, kids, spouse, parents, etc. Leave, if you have a bad performance, leave it on the field. Don't bring it home with you. Next, rehearse the match day often within your training session. So this is to get your mind prepared, probably your conscious mind prepared for what's to be expected on match day. So you kind of lessen your nerves on the day of the match. You know what to expect on the day of the match, so there's no surprises. Because any surprises, then your conscious mind takes over. It's focused on that surprise, like, oh my gosh, they completely changed the distance, or oh my gosh.
Wow. They did not break either the Globex high or low today. This is a really small day.
The manager at one of my stores
What's the odds on
changed
that?
the time. Completely changed the time that we're supposed to meet. Things like that. So it's in your head that things like this can happen. So when it does happen, well, hey, you have a plan B for it. So rehearse the match day often within your training session. Next.
Oh my gosh.
This is what I alluded to earlier. When you're playing well, play
Wow, dude. Holy shit.
When you have that momentum going, keep it going. There's a great book on this called The Compound
1%.
Effect
Dude.
that I read years
Dude.
ago.
1% of the days do not break the Globex high or low. And today is one of them. It's got a half an hour to break it. Is it going to or not? That's a good question. That's a very good question, because only 1% of the days do. Only 1%. It's not likely. I wonder what's going to happen. I wonder if it's going to push upwards and do it. Here we go. This is that move. Here we go. Should have went long there. Gosh.
I think it's by Darren Hardy. And how the little things are tough to do in the beginning, but then they snowball into something that's a lot bigger later on, and it's harder to stop. And that it's kind of like a train, takes a little bit to get going, but then once it gets going, it's going, and it's tough to stop a moving train. So when you're playing well, just keep that momentum going. If he gives an example in the book, if you're crushing drives, well, keep crushing drives. Not only is this going to help to solidify that skill, but it's also going to imprint in your mind, hey, it's like me to crush these drives 300 some odd yards right in the middle of the fairway. Next point, we raise ourselves to the standard we are around. So Laney says here that we should play with people or train with people that are better than us. Right? Because think about how much more you're going to learn from somebody
already
who's
broken.
better than you.
I'm not going to do
You
it.
learn more in your losses than you do your wins, right? And that's just common sense. Think about how when you win, it's celebrations. You're not, you are still doing, reflection on the competition, but it's a lot harder because you just won. No, when you lose, that's when you try to learn the most, because you're hungry to get back on the field, court, or whatever, next time. So play with people who are better than you. It's going to elevate you, and you're going to learn from them. And any tips and tricks that they have that they use to get a leg up on the competition. And it's going to raise, like we said earlier, it's going to raise your self-image. It's like me to play with guys or girls of this caliber. And the last point, plan your year. So Lanny, in this point, talks a lot about, in his specific sport, how he planned his year. So he broke it up into quarters. First quarter was getting your training.
Oh, it's already broken.
Let me go to it. I think it was
There it goes.
getting your training schedule set, and then getting your equipment set, setting up your competitions. Then the second phase, your conditioning, or excuse me, the second quarter. Then third quarter's all competitions. Fourth quarter, you're resting and reflecting. But you could easily tailor this for whatever you need in your work life. For example, plan your year. If you know the certain projects that are happening for that fiscal year, if you have access to that, well, you can plan around that. Okay, I need to get ready for this project coming up in the first quarter. I have to be familiar with this skill set, and then second quarter we'll have a little bit of a break, but then third quarter we're going to turn it back up again because we got this on the books, etc., etc. So I think planning is crucial. I will be honest with you, I haven't planned 2021 necessarily. I've been planning the weeks out. I've been planning every week, like, what do I want to get done this week? And then I have a daily board where I try to plan out my day. I'm not 100%, you know, it doesn't happen every single day. There's some days where I don't utilize the board, but it's getting better. And I do feel a difference when I have the plan on the board and the plan for the week, and I'm able to look, okay, what should I be doing right now? I could be doing something right now. Helps keep me organized. Next, performance analysis. So in here, Lanny's talking about in your practice sessions to keep track of your progress. Right, the first bullet point here, record your progress. You cannot manage what you do not measure. And this was a quote by Peter Drucker. Whatever gets measured gets managed. So you're not going to really know how well you're doing unless you keep track of it. So he advocates to get a performance journal and to detail your sessions in that performance journal. And the journal is going to do kind of two things. As you can maybe see from that bullet point, a journal is going to allow you to see what you were doing in the session, how it went, you know, the targets hit, birdies made, etc. And you're not going to necessarily write your failures in there. You don't want to do that. But you're going to see from the adjustments you made in practice sessions, the results of it, and then you can kind of tailor what you're going to be doing in the competition and the real thing. So that's number one. And then number two is a journal is going to be used to build your self-image. This is where, I'll be honest, I have a journal. Well, it's kind of like a diary. We're going to talk about that in a second. More like a diary, although I'd like it to be more like a journal. But I write down direct affirmations in there, like, hey, it is like me to be this. It is like me to do this. You know, so your journal can be used to build that self-image. Next point, it's one thing to talk about the journal, but to be honest with you, and Lanny talks about this, so few people do. So few people keep a performance journal. He gives a couple reasons here. they keep a diary and not a journal. So, what's a diary? So, Laney's definition of a diary is
I'm in $90 risk. Remember that. $90 risk. Take a picture. $90 risk. Where's my target? $90 risk.
Right, so you're not really
My target's at
recording-
22.
It's kind of like the
$90 risk,
documentary
$90
you're
reward.
getting.
That makes sense simple. 1-to-1.
At least for me too, you're recording things in there that maybe don't even have anything to do with
3.6 risk, 3.6 reward.
line of work.
Just a 1-to-1. We
etc.
entered
It's
at
just a
1438. This is a holding split.
okay.
Zone number
And for
1267.
performance, you
Plant
should,
it.
it should just be your specific sport.
Planted.
Right? It shouldn't be anything else that is happening in the day, relationships, parents, kids, friends, what you saw in the news. No, keep this too specific to your sport. Number two, a lot of people do not know how to keep a performance journal. Right? They talk about a lot of things they did bad. Well, again, studying failure will only get you good at failure. You want to write down in there your successes, the results, certain tweaks that you did in this training session, and we're going to talk about this in a second here.
Oh.
And the last point, most people are lazy. Think about it. You're in practice for a few hours, 4 or 5 days a week. After a training session, you probably just want to go home, unwind, eat, rest. It's hard mentally. It can be hard to sit down with all the distractions in this world that we have today and write something down. And you have to write it down. I mean, you don't have to, but I find I'm more committed. Things get more, I guess I should say, more things get done when I write it down. More things get like inscribed in my memory when I write it down. Physically write it down versus typing it out or just trying to remember it.
I'm out.
Something about that hand to paper like commits it to memory. Because it's tough. It's tough to do sometimes. So what are the elements of a performance journal? Well, number one, there is a competition log element.
0 NA on that.
This is where you would record
Negative 3.6 apples.
your competition dates and the results of your competition.
And now it's turning back
Second,
up.
we have the equipment log.
Sucker.
Is all the equipment that you're using. Third, we
One
have
other
the
thing was
general
that
data
crude
section.
oil short holding level. That's still
Date,
going on, is it?
Time, location.
That's still going on right
and
now.
what you
I'm
learned,
short on that.
what you accomplished in that.
Not
competition
doing
or
anything
in
right
that
now.
Training session, etc.
Gonna have to exit end of day. Partial.
Next, solution analysis. Solutions
What else?
to challenges you discovered.
Then
in
just
the training
NQ
phase.
long,
So it's one thing to just
which
go
has gone
around
up
and
even
just
more now. Wow.
picking apart, like, hey, you
Look
did
at that
this wrong,
drop.
did this wrong, this
Wow.
wrong. You should
Wow.
refrain from
There's a
recording
long.
those
There's a long.
thoughts,
What am
feelings,
I doing?
etc.
There's a long.
But it's another thing to
Go
look for
long.
a solution for that. I always hate like people just in real life they'll point out bad things, but they will never point out like, hey, how can we fix this thing?
Because this is a good area of
Okay,
demand
I
right
get it,
there.
It's messed up. What should I do? What should we do about it? So there's a section. Laney advocates for a specific section in the performance journal where you're providing solutions to these challenges.
I don't know.
Next,
Don't know what's gonna happen.
success analysis again. Be your own best promoter. Anything you did well, anything you were happy about, build up that self-image. Write down those successes. They could be anything. They're little things. I write down little things in my journal, diary, whatever you want to call it. I write down little successes in there. Because again, it's like me to, at the base base level, solve things, get better at things, etc., it's like me to do that.
1264, I'm closing.
The daily goal statement. So what is this? This is kind of like the direct affirmation.
I'm also closing this,
kind
protecting
of,
extreme.
An objective that you state, an objective that you intend to reach, and it's always written in the first person present tense as if you had already reached it. So it's not written in the past. It's not written as if in the future tense, like you haven't achieved it yet. It's in the present tense. You already are that. You are currently have attained it. It's currently in your possession. And again, this is all to build up that self-image. And I do this a lot at the very end after I'm done journaling. I will write down, hey, it is like me to do
1260 done.
this. It is like me to be this. Right there in the present tense. Whoa, that's going to wrap it up. Guys, thank you very much for listening. We only have about 1 or 2 more videos on With Winning in Mind. Next, in a couple weeks, we're going to talk about the self-image circle. It's going to be the last section of Lanny's book, and that'll be a good one. We're going to talk about the direct affirmation in there, talk about what I did, what I wrote for my direct affirmation, which actually is, and there's a due date on it. It's actually coming up soon, or an expiration date, I guess you would maybe call it. But if you listen this far, thank you so much. If you have any questions on this book, let me know in the comments section. Please like, please subscribe, and we're going to be still doing the bell curve that'll come out next week. Well, guys, my name is Chris. This has been Cheetash. Take care, everybody.
So holding level creation going downwards. Five contracts at this low, 5 contracts at 96.25, 5 contracts at 96.25, 96.25, 96.25, 96.25, 5 contracts. Oh, never mind. Cancel that. It's turned up now. I don't know what it wants to do here. I was thinking it wants to go lower, but there's not much we can do about it other than anti-breakouts going upwards, but it's 369.258. 258. That means this will print in a minute and a half at 48.
This is Brian. Welcome back to Philosopher's Notes TV. Today we've got another great book, With Winning in Mind, by Lanny Basham. Amazing guy, amazing book. We've got Philosopher's Notes, my favorite 5 big ideas. Lanny is a former gold medalist in the Olympics, rifle shooting. He won a silver medal in one Olympics, wanted to win the gold, realized that he couldn't handle the pressure. He choked under pressure, and wanted to figure out how to get his mind right. He's been at this for 40 years. He's created something called the mental management system. In this book, he walks us through it in just a genius way. I'm excited to share 5 of my favorite big ideas now. We're going to start with the first one. It's 90% mental. If we want to win, whatever that means for us, in whatever domain we show up in, it could be as an athlete or as a parent,
5
spend
contracts at
in your
7.25.
day getting your mind right? Again, it doesn't matter whether you're an athlete or an artist or an entrepreneur or a parent. Do you spend any time trying to get your mind right? If 90% of your performance is dictated by your
15.5.
mental state, it would make a lot of sense to put a lot more time into optimizing that. That's the first big idea. We just need to understand how important it is to train our minds and to do some of the stuff we're going to talk about today and that we talk about all the time. Now, the next big idea is, did I win? Did I win? And Lanny tells a story that is just amazing. He's working with a PGA golfer. He works with a bunch of golfers and Olympic teams, etc. He's working with this professional golfer who hasn't won in a few years, right? So they're doing their year-end planning, looking ahead and thinking about what goals they want to set for the next year. And Lanny says, look, let's not set a goal to win a tournament. We haven't won a tournament in a while. Let's set the goal to focus on execution, to focus on the process, because it's good execution of the mental and physical dynamics that leads to good scoring, which leads to winning golf tournaments. But let's not focus on winning golf tournaments. Let's focus on the process of winning golf tournaments. And the golfer just loved this, and he made his theme for the year this
We're in short
process
on this anti-breakout. This looks great.
is primary. Process is primary. Became this golfer's
1268.
obsession. He's all about the moment-to-moment execution of effective golfing, right? Not thinking about winning tournaments or not the outcomes, but the process, which we talked about yesterday in the War of Art. We're going to talk about again and again and again, because it's the heartbeat of optimal living, to focus on this moment. It's the power of now in a really active, engaged way. So anyway, this golfer is all about the process. All about it, right? And he's in his 4th tournament of the year, Torrey Pines down in San Diego. He's on the 18th hole in the final round. He's got a 30-inch putt. Now, the crowd knows
My
he
risk on
needs
the
to make
trade,
that putt to win.
82.50,
He has no idea.
$82.
He's so focused on the process, being primary, that he's just going to step up and execute that shot as well as he has any other shot that
love
day
that.
in the tournament. That's all he cares about. He sinks the putt.
I'm
His
going for a
playing
2-1.
partner gives him a handshake, and he thinks he's just
88.
polite. End of the round. Oh, thank you. You know, he did a great round. And he didn't
88.5.
even know he won the tournament with that putt until his wife ran onto the green. His wife
192.
runs onto the green. He says, "Did I win? Did I win?" Can you imagine that? It was $1 million putt, and they didn't even know it was for the win because he was so focused on.
I
the
fucking
process.
love that.
Now you tell me
That's
how
so
you would
cool.
show up if you were
So
thinking about
cool.
the outcome. 30-inch putt, $1 million. What's that going to do for you if you're obsessing about that? This is $1 million putt. I've got to make it. I've got to make it. I've got to make it. 30 inches. Okay, let me analyze it. Let me analyze it. You're going to obsess and you're going to stress yourself out, take yourself out of executing well. But he was so focused on the execution, he didn't even think about the outcome. He just went through his routine and made a shot. That's all it was about, was that moment, being in the moment. Process was primary. It's just a nuts story. Did I win? The guy didn't even know he had $1 million putt at stake. I just think that's remarkable. Process is primary. John Wooden talks about this. It wasn't about winning championships for him. It was about having
There we go.
practices.
1.25 hit.
See if we can make today
Hold on to the sucker.
is what Wooden
If
told
you
me.
can.
Can
Move
we
stop to
make
pivot in the
today a
zone here.
masterpiece? Can you make today
At
a
11.
masterpiece for you
11 is
in
my
your life?
stop.
I
11's
did a
my
video
stop.
not too long ago about
11's
that.
my stop.
I'll put a link to it in this video,
32.50.
how I go about making today a masterpiece and some ideas on that.
32.50
Think
is my
about
risk.
this. Process is primary. Let's focus on executing well.
Target hit.
Next big idea is good shots.
Piz of 1.3.
This is what we want to remember. Good
Wow.
shots. Now,
Good
Lanny talks
win.
about
2-1.
they
Banger.
go into his mental
That's a big
management
one.
system.
That's a big one. That's a big deal.
The
That's the
subconscious
anti-breakout
and
that we
our
wanted to
self-image,
see.
right?
It's kind of trapping the longs.
Check out the book for more
I
on
could
it.
I could see
Basically,
that.
discipline our conscious mind such that we can rewire
25%.
our subconscious mind and create a new self-image. And one of the ways we do that is by focusing on what works. We don't want to obsess about what's not working. We want to think about what is working. So he says we want to recall our good shots. He talks about some of his teammates on the U.S. rifle shooting team, and the guys would never talk about their missed shots. And once he was at a training event, and he was talking about he was was involved in some event where he got
Nice play.
398 out of 400.
Nice play.
So a rifle shooter goes
Love to
for
see
10.
it.
That's a bullseye. If they miss, they get a 9. He made every single
You take a
shot
picture?
but 2. He got
No.
2 9s, and the rest of them were perfect 10s. And someone in the audience said, "What was going through your mind?"
Then I'm waiting.
when you got those 2 9s. And he says, "Why would you want to talk about the 2 9s? Why wouldn't you want to talk about all my 10s? What was going through my mind when I got all those 10s? That's what we should be thinking about. But too often we're thinking about what went wrong, and we groove that into our mind, and we create more of it. We need to obsess about what's going right in our lives. We're going to talk about that more in a moment with self-image. But recall the good shots. That's who you are. You're a strong, powerful,
All right, I'm gonna get
successful
out of
being.
oil
Think about
'cause
that. Don't
it's
think
not
about your
doing
misses
anything
and your
here.
bad shots.
I'll be lucky if
Really,
it's
really
out
big
at break
idea.
even here.
The next one here is rehearsal.
There we go. Out.
So rather than
Nothing.
call it
No one treat.
visualization, he calls it rehearsal.
No profit or
Imagine
loss.
yourself doing the performance that you engage in as well as you possibly can. Rehearse it. It's kind of mental imagery that we've been talking about a fair amount, but he calls it rehearsal. And he's amazing what he would do. He talked about this time he went for a perfect score and how he got it and how he went through every single step in the process of what he would do from the very beginning of the meet through that event, all the way through to see and to feel again and again and again what it would take. And he said he won a gold medal thousands of times before he won it in reality.
1265.
He rehearsed it again and again and again. Now, it's really important to note that he did not rehearse putting the gold medal on, and how wonderful that would feel, and the big check he might get for an endorsement or sponsorship or whatever. That's outcome focus. That's not making process primary. He obsessed and he rehearsed about what he would do such that the outcome would be a natural byproduct. Huge difference we want to focus on. Anyway, he had this one story where he was in the Army, and he was stationed somewhere that was 250 miles away from the closest shooting range. He literally couldn't go out and shoot. For 2 years, he only shot 6 days in 2 years. And those were both tournaments, 3-day tournaments that he was in. The only time he actually shot a rifle in those 2 years was when he was competing. And he won both of them. But what he did was, every single night, Monday through Friday or whatever it was, 5 days a week, when he put his family would go to bed, he'd spend 2 to 4 hours rehearsing the perfect shot and what he would do when he would compete. Pure imagination, pure rehearsal led to him winning the 2 events that he went into. Ridiculous. There's all kinds of studies that prove that just visually imagining doing something well will improve your performance. Unbelievably cool. Rehearsal's a big idea. The final big idea is self-image. So we talked about our conscious mind, our subconscious mind, and our self-image. He has a great phrase which is tied to these good shots. He says, "That's like me. Me. That's like me. That's like me to crush it. That's like me to have a perfect shot. That's like me to have a perfect score." So whatever it is that you do in your life, and again, you could be a salesperson, you could be a mom, you could be whatever, an artist, rehearse yourself doing it to the best of your ability. And anytime you find yourself performing at a high level, say to yourself, "That's like me." We need to have a self-image that is high. It's like a thermostat. You're not going to perform above your self-image. You need to crank your thermostat up such that you can maintain a higher level of performance. That's like me. And your self-image that you have right now, he says, is a function of all the imprints you've had throughout your life. Positive, negative, 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 positive, positive, negative, negative, negative. All the little chit-chat going on in your head, all the criticisms and whatever you've gotten or praise you've gotten in your life, imprint, 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 imprint. And if you want to create a higher level self-image, you need to have better imprints more consistently. Rewire your brain. You want to recall the good shots, rehearse top performance, and affirm a higher self-image. That's like me. Just love that. So when you find yourself doing something great, whether it's in your rehearsal or during your day, say, "That's like me. It's like me to
That's
do
like
that."
me.
Perform at a high level.
Okay.
So there you go.
I like
Super
that.
quick look at this great
All right, end of the session.
Lanny Basham.
That's
Awesome
it.
guy. I'll put some links down
Up 7.5 apples in the simulated session.
Top performance. We need to invest more energy into our mental game. Did I win? $1 million putt. Did I win? So obsessed on the process as being primary. Good shots. Recall those. Not the bad shots, the good shots. Rehearse again and again and again. He won his gold medal thousands of times before he actually won it. And your self-image. Boost it. That's like you to crush it. Hope you enjoyed. I had fun. What was the biggest idea you got out of this? How can you apply it to your life more consistently starting today? Take it from theory, make it embodied practice. And I look forward to sharing more with you soon. All right, have another awesome day. See you.
Cool. Very cool. Alright, there you go. There you done. That's it. That's it on the session. And we'll be here tomorrow morning. Oops. Tomorrow morning, for the morning session tomorrow. Alright. That's it.